What's up, you guys? We're Justin again, and this isn't the same old Fire Fist deck, is it?
Nope, not anymore.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Release of Tachyon gave us a few new cards to work with. Unfortunately, it didn't give me the one card I really wanted for Fire Fist, but I figured I could try to make it work despite, you know, not having chicken. That'd be nice.
Alright, so let's hop in.
The main card of the deck, the card that gives us most advantage, is Spirit. You summon Spirit, allows you to special summon one fire monster with 200 or less defense from your graveyard. This allows me to get into, and it's a tuner, so it allows you to get into synchro play, specifically this guy. You make him, he can special summon a level 3 fire monster from your deck. Now, this opens up a bunch of combos and gives me a huge amount of advantage. So, the main card that you use with that is this guy. Leopard. You tribute one Fire Fist on your field to set any fire formation directly from your deck. So basically, he can tribute himself, and then you can set Tenki, you can set Tensu, you can set Gyoko, you can set anything that you need for the situation. And with basically what it is you can normal summon him. If this is in your grave, you special summon, sync for 6 to bring him out, use his effect to bring out Panther, then tribute the Panther for any fire formation. And that puts a bunch of monsters in your graveyard for future plays, as well as setting up plays for future turns. Now, the other big monster that you're going to be using to special summon with Spirit is Burner, and of course, with Burner comes Blaster. Now, honestly, the ratio of this card should be 3 blasters to 2 burners, but I only got 2 blasters for the at the sneak, so. Know that in the future, it's going to be this. But anyway, if you know anything about the dragons at this point, you know how ridiculous they can be. Blaster is, you can pitch itself with any other fire monster to destroy a card on the field, along with a bunch of other stuff. But that's actually the main effect I use it for, is to start clearing the field, and then late game, banish 2 fire to special summon and defeat for game. Now, Burner, his main purpose is actually to pitch other fire monsters. Like if I open with this, I'll gladly pitch that to get Blaster on the field as a wall. And it also sets up my graveyard with 2 monsters that can be brought out with Spirit. Now, Fire Fist being Fire Fist, there's the other ones. We've got, you know, your 3 bear and your 1 gorilla. No real introduction necessary on them. Now, on spells, you've got your prerequisite 3 Tenki, best card of the deck. 2 Tensu, since we have Spirit plays and Panther plays, it's a lot easier to get this going, and it helps fuel future plays a lot faster. So opening with basically a Panther, a Spirit, a Burner, or basically almost any combination of these guys gives me a huge start and a huge chance to plus at everything. And then there's the new fire formation, Gyoko. Gyoko, you target one set spell or trap your opponent controls, and while this card is on the field, that card cannot be activated. And it can't be chained to this card, just like with Night Beam. So I can use this, basically, I can search it out, putting it in my hands pretty much whenever I want, and stun my opponent's back row to lead into more plays. Now, one of the big cards, and one of the funniest ones, I think, Rekindling. With Rekindling, I've got 3 big targets for it right here. All of these have just 200 defense. So 1 Rekindling turns into a Synchro play, or an Exceed play, or a Fire Formation, or anything. So as long as I can get any of these, basically any of these in my grave, Rekindling is not just live, but sets up a lot. Then of course you got, you know, obvious things. The only reason there's only 2 MSTs is because of Gyoko. Because running the Gyokos is effectively like running multiple MSTs, and this deck is kind of tight on the space. With the traps, you've got 3 Fiendish Chains, really damn important card this format. You know, your double Bottomless, double Torrent, and then your 1 of Solemns and Starlight Road. With all the back row we run, Starlight Road is pretty much a necessary evil. I don't like it, and have never liked it.
Or extra or whatever.
Yeah. These are the only guys I've gone into all day. Your big Synchro, which I've explained him earlier, special summons from the deck, and your big Exceed. Now, the thing with Spirit is, when you use Spirit's effect to special summon from the grave, you can only attack with Beast Warrior monsters for the rest of the turn. And these 2 are your best options to go into. Him because he helps set up future plays, and him because he allows you to recur cards from your graveyard. With Lion Emperor, you detach one to target a fire monster in your graveyard, add to your hand. You can't normal or special summon that card during this turn. Now, the thing is, again, it's any fire monster. So if I have a blaster in my graveyard, I can just add it back to hand, pop again, whatever. If I have a spirit, I just add a spirit back to my hand. And the thing is, as long as I have a single fire monster in my graveyard, I can detach and then target the material that I detached for his own effect. Just like with, Madolche Tiramisu or other similar effects. So if I have, I don't know, a blaster, burner, whatever in my grave, and a spirit under him, I can detach the spirit, add it back to my hand. These are the most important cards in the deck, or the extra deck, and what you go into the most, that's what really makes your plays. Sadly, we're missing a lot from the OCG that you could also go into, but whatever. Pretty much the rest of the deck is just almost sort of typical, but almost filler. You've got your Tiger King, got Abyss Dweller, other rank 4s, and Maestro, whatever. Since you make a lot of rank 3 plays, Zen Mines is viable. These guys are viable, but mostly filler. Leviair actually has a lot of utility simply because of Blaster's special summon effect. You banish 2 special summon, you can banish a bear or whatever, go into Leviair, get, Spirit into Leviair, get the bear back, pop something, and the bear can still attack because Beast Warrior. And then, because of this guy, I run 1 Photon Strike Bouncer. If they allow me to get so much as, if they allow this to stay on the field for 1 turn, I can just make this to stomp them. I want to run Messier 7 as well, but, I don't have a copy of it yet. And then, your Starlight Dragon for Starlight Road.
Alright, no side deck yet?
The side deck's still a work in progress.
So, I guess where to start. New Fire Fists seem a lot different from old Fire Fists. What would you say are just some of the most key differences?
The key difference is that old Fire Fist is all about control. Essentially, old Fire Fist was a stun deck. You may as well not even call it Fire Fist. It was really bear plus stun cards. It was all about controlling the field and keeping, your hand, keeping the pressure on with constant floaters. Essentially, the bear 10 key turned the bear into a floater. With the new Fire Fist, it's all about big explosive plays that set up plays in future turns. And it's a lot faster, and in a way, a lot more brittle. You don't run nearly as many traps, so it's a lot harder to keep yourself protected, but at the same time, you summon so much so fast that it's a lot easier to kill very quickly. I found in my testing that I didn't really have that much of a problem with fire formations in the back row clogging simply because the games lasted so fast.
And do you think that this new version of Fire Fist is more competitive with some of the current threats like Mermail's, Prophecy, Elemental Dragons?
It could keep up with Mermail. I'm not so certain it can keep up with the Dragons or the Prophecy just yet. Part of the reason why the Fire Fist and the OCG can keep up with Prophecy is because they have access to a Synchro Beast Warrior that lets them use Eradicator, which Eradicator versus Prophecy is an instant win. We don't have that Synchro yet. And I don't know very much out there that other than Prophecy and Dragons that can handle the Dragons.
So you mentioned that less traps kind of added some weaknesses to the deck. Are there any older matchups that just become drastically easier with the release of these new cards?
Let's see.
I never knew that the Fire Fist had bad matchups, I guess. So
the matchups themselves, I haven't really seen a lot of. Most of my testing with this deck has been online, so I've had access to Chicken and the other OCG cards. This has been my first day of actually playing this deck against other things. So I imagine that it still has some pretty good matchups. And one of the worst matchups I found with old Fire Fist was the water match. Even though you can side so heavy for it, it's hard to really keep up with just what they can put out. This deck is a hell of a lot faster and honestly, due to Blaster, more capable of handling Water's big plays. Blaster being 28 definitely helps get over, lead, which is one of their biggest monsters. And you can easily crash with Gaius if you really want to. But
So you probably prefer this version over the older?
I definitely prefer this version. It's a lot more visceral. There's a lot more going on. The older version was a lot of slow, passive play, which honestly a lot of players think is a good thing, and in many cases it is. but the linearity of the deck.
Right. Yeah.
Now, granted, there are linear plays here too. It's hard not for every deck to have at least some linearity to it, but it's different for me right now, so I'm still enjoying it.
Alright, well, thanks. I appreciate the deck profile. And remember, guys, thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave comments. Thanks again.